faculty and staff, and welcome guests to our Bulldog Legends program. Thank you, Mighty Bulldog Orchestra, under the direction of Raimundo Peña, for the pre-event music, and our Mighty Bulldog Band, under the direction of Mr. Joshua Martinez, for that amazing performance right now. Let's give them another round of applause, everybody. That was amazing. I am Ernesto Sandoval, of course, the very, very proud principal of John B. Alexander High School. And I am honored to have our honorees and their families with us today at this special celebration. Today we are honoring you because each of you, through your various accomplishments, have made this school, our district, and our community very, very proud. At this time, we would like to ask everyone to please rise for the presentation of colors by our U.S. Army JROTC under the direction of Major Jose Orozco and Sergeant First Class Pedro Martinez. The national anthem will be sung by one of our very own John B. Alexander High School student advisory students, Kaylee Dalrymple, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge, and a moment of silence that will be recited by Olivia Castod, Student Council President.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. And now we will have a moment of silence to reflect, pray, or meditate.
Go. ROTC, post. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to make some introductions of some very important people that we have in our stands and amongst us. Today, we have from our Board of Directors, the UISD Board of Directors, our Secretary, Ms. Michelle Molina. Assistant Superintendent for Technology, Mr. Hector Perez. Executive Director of High School Instruction, Ms. Melissa Cruz. Director of Elementary Education, Ms. Saida Gonzalez. Executive Director of Middle School Instruction, Ms. Cynthia Ramirez. And Director of Communication, Ms. Susan Carlson. Today we are honoring 5 individuals as part of our League of Legends Distinguished Alumni Program. They were honored last night at a special ceremony held at the Barn Reception Center, and today it brings us great joy to honor them at their alma mater. But what exactly is a Bulldog Legend? What have these individuals done to deserve this recognition? And how can you, students, be amongst them one day in your future? Well, to be an Alexander High School Bulldog Legend, you must have distinguishable traits in the following areas: citizenship, responsibility, respect, and trustworthiness. You must also have a sense of responsibility for your community and to serve the underserved and the underprivileged in our areas. Now that each of these individuals have done this and more. Once they all sat where you're sitting today. Mr. Rendon would have been over here with the band. I know it was Garcia now, but she was here as Ms. Caballero. She would have been with the athletes. You know, and Mr. Molina would have been sitting right there with the student council and the groups leading the school. So each of these individuals sat where you're sitting today, all of you. And it is with great honor and great respect that I say welcome to your alma mater, and I'm glad you all are here. At this time, Ms. Mariana Ortega will introduce Ricardo Benavides III, class of 2010.
Ricardo Benavides III is a genuine product of the United Independent School District, having attended Amparo Gutierrez Elementary School, United Middle School, and Alexander High School, where he proudly earned his diploma in 2010. Ricardo received his Bachelor of Arts in Government with a minor in Special Education from the University of the Incarnate Word in San Antonio and obtained his Juris Doctorate from St. Mary's University School of Law. Following law school, Ricardo worked as an assistant city attorney for the city of Laredo. As an assistant city attorney, Ricardo provided legal advice to various city departments, including building, code enforcement, human resources, environmental, planning and zoning, community development, library, and the health department. Ricardo also served as legal counsel to various city boards and commissions, including the Planning and Zoning Commission, Charter Revision Commission, Historic District and Landmark Board, Fine Arts and Culture Commission, and the Municipal Civil Service Commission. Today, Ricardo is now an associate attorney at the law firm of JCA Law PLLC, where he serves as general counsel for school districts and governmental entities across the state of Texas. His law practice is dedicated to school law, special education law, employment law, administrative law, business law, public finance law, and general litigation. Furthermore, Ricardo shares his expertise by conducting training sessions for school districts annually and presenting at conferences held by the Texas Association of School Personnel Administrators Region 1 Education Service Center and the School Law Conference held by the University of Texas Law School. Despite a demanding schedule, Ricardo remains deeply committed to community service. Ricardo serves as a director on the Board of Junior Achievement El Laredo, a non-profit organization dedicated to providing economic and business education to students in grades K through 12. Additionally, Ricardo was appointed to the Municipal Civil Service Commission for the City of Laredo, where he represents Council District 6. His abilities as a commissioner were further recognized when he was elected as Vice Chair of the Municipal Civil Service Commission. Ricardo continues to play an active and valuable role in both organizations, showcasing his ongoing commitment to the community betterment. Please help me welcome Mr. Ricardo Benavides III.
Good morning, Bulldogs. It's great to be back. Obviously, thank you so much to the administration here at Alexander. Coming through the entrance this morning, I was kind of flooded with memories of what it was like to be where you all are, kind of being lost, not sure what I was going to do with my life. They kind of already spoke a little bit about me, so I'm not going to rehash that, but I just wanted to use this time to kind of give you some advice that I wish I had when I was in your position. And I think the first little pointer that I have is don't be afraid to create your own path, whether that be seeking a degree or in your path to love, in your path to your career. Not everyone's path is going to be the same. Make yours unique. When you graduate from college and you apply to a graduate school, everybody's application is going to look the same. Everybody's going to have the same degree. But you can make yourself unique by following your own unique graduation path, okay? And that is gonna help you get into the graduate school that you want. The second bit of advice that I have is if you're interested in a career, make sure you intern or work at the office that is in the career that you're seeking to do, okay? I can't underscore how important that is. In my law office, we take on interns every summer. They are college students that are thinking about pursuing a legal career. If you're interested in doing that, feel free to contact our office. We are here in Laredo. We love taking on students from Laredo that want to practice law and return to Laredo. It's important that you try it out first. There's been a handful of times where we have students come and they love it. Others come and it's not for them, but that's okay. At least they tried it before they put all of their eggs in one basket and make a huge investment in pursuing the legal degree, I'm sure, as well as medicine as well. If you are pursuing a legal career, I don't know, I know that Alexander is a magnet, medical magnet, very successful one at that. Can I get a show of hands of who wants to be or thinking about being an attorney here? Little bit? Yes? Okay, I think my job security should be pretty good over the next couple of years. There isn't too many. But if you are interested in pursuing a legal degree, a little bit of advice. When you are in college, make sure you keep your GPA up as much as you can. I know many of you are going to be going off to college to different cities. You're going to be caught up in the excitement of being in a new town, a college town. Keep an eye on your GPA. You're going to want to keep it as competitive as can be. Because remember, when you're applying for graduate school, this advice is even applicable to medicine or any other graduate degree. You're going to be competing against other people. So keep it as competitive as can be. Number 2, practice your writing skills. I think that nowadays writing is a trait that is being left behind, but it is so important that you know how to write even a proper email. Okay, so just be aware of that. And lastly, learn good study habits here. Okay, once you're in college, it's too late. All right, once you're in your graduate degree, it's too late to be learning those studying skills. You got to learn it now. Okay, that's pretty much all I have. I wish the best of luck to you all, and thank you so much to the administration here at Alexander. Mr. Sandoval, I remember him when I was back here. Wonderful, wonderful person. I'm glad that he's now the principal. He deserves it. He's one of the most memorable people I know from my high school time. So I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you so much.
Mr. Alfredo Ramirez will now introduce Dr. Alfredo Camero Jr., class of 2012.
Born and raised in Laredo, Texas, Dr. Alfredo Camero Jr. graduated from Alexander High School in 2004. He then obtained his bachelor's degree from Texas A&M University in biomedical science. Afterwards, he attended medical school at the University of Texas Health Science Center, UTH-CSA, in San Antonio. Remaining at UTH-CSA for his medical training, he dedicated most of his time at University Hospital and Audi Marie VA Hospital. Internal medicine was his initial focus during residency, but he then decided to specialize in gastroenterology. Dr. Camero has been fortunate to receive certain accolades, the proudest of which are the acceptance to the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society induction into the Gold Humanitism Honor Society, and serving as both Chief President and Chief Fellow. Along the way, he has numerous mentors and role models, all of them important in his career path. But it was his parents and their work ethic that influenced his career the most. His first role model in medicine is local pediatrician Dr. Armando Garza III, who was someone that he aspired to be like. Ironically, he now works alongside his son as they lead the new generation of Laredo medicine. His roles now are co-running Gastroenterology Consultants of Laredo and Laredo Digestive Health Center. While working at both hospitals, he is on the latter half of his 2-year term as Chief of Medicine at Laredo Medical Center. He and his extremely supportive wife, Senya, are raising 2 beautiful children, Fred and Ceci, who are 7 and 5 years old. His message to the current generation of students is to dream big despite whatever barriers they may think they have. Laredo has a great network of professionals that can guide students towards success. You are your next generation of leaders, and we are here to help. Please help me welcome Dr. Alfredo Camero Jr.
All right, hello, Bulldog Nation. We're so happy to be here and honored for this amazing distinction. I wanted to start off quickly by thanking some very important people that are here in my life. First off, thank you to Elsa Morales for nominating me for this award. Next, I have to thank my beautiful family, Senya, Fred, and Ceci, who are sitting there. Thank you for giving me the motivation to be the best version of myself every day. It's a blessing to be living this wonderful and sometimes crazy life alongside each of you. And then, of course, I have to thank my parents, who are also sitting right there, that I'm forever grateful and in debt to, for teaching me how to work hard, strive for excellence, and always feel capable. Growing up, if there was ever anything missing in our lives, whether it was financial, emotional, or spiritual, you made sure that my sister or I never realized or felt it. You always made sure that if we dreamt it, we could do it. All right, now we're done with the sappy stuff. Let's get over to the good stuff. So it's so cool being here. I honestly feel like I never left, but then I look at the student body and see how old I look compared to you guys, and I realize that it has been quite some time, almost 20 years in fact. But I want to start off by saying exactly that. I was sitting there not that long ago, and that's where my path started. I started here at the Alexander Magnet program, where I knew that I wanted to be a doctor, and with the right guidance from counselors, my journey moved on from Alexander to College Station. Leaving home was difficult, but getting past that emotional separation, academically I realized that Alexander did a great job preparing me for A&M. And then I applied to medical school and was accepted to a few, but I ended up in San Antonio. And again, I was pleasantly surprised that A&M and Alexander had prepared me for medical school. And that became a common theme moving forward. The successes that I was having were all results of the recent past. And I placed more and more trust in the process, knowing that if I excelled at what I was doing then, it would mean my future would be in good hands. And so then 3 years of internal medicine, a year of chief residency, 3 years of GI fellowship, getting married, having 2 children, 3, now 4 dogs, we ended up back here in Laredo. And I'm glad because I knew that our community, which has always been underserved medically, was going to be where I could make the biggest impact. And so that's a little summary about my journey, but I wanted to leave you also with some advice that I felt made a big difference in my path. So first off, strive to find yourself amongst like-minded individuals, okay? Find that core group of friends. Many of the same friends who I made here at Alexander are still my best friends. And along the way, it's important to make new friends that have the same goals, the new goals that you're going through. And, you know, I can list over an hour all of the people that were important to me over the path of becoming a gastroenterologist, which if you wanted to do the math was 15 years after finishing Alexander High School. And so a path as long as that one can sometimes be a lonely one, even when you have family and friends around. So it's important to continue to surround yourself amongst people that are going through the same obstacles as you are, so that you can have the support, and you can also have lifelong friendships and mentorships you can always turn to. So find that core group early and keep adding to it as you get through that path. Another piece of advice is that don't be afraid of being a leader. I never really sought these leadership roles, but they somehow ended up on my lap, and I'm thankful for it. I've been a chief resident, a chief fellow, and now I'm the chief of medicine at LMC. And being a leader gives you a different view on your jobs and your duties. It makes you learn empathy. It gives you extra accountability, which makes you a stronger person. There's also a saying out there that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And so sometimes this world can be cruel. And so being in a position of power lets you make sure that the organization that you're leading is moving in the right direction and towards the goals that you want for the greater good. So don't shy away from the leadership roles. I'm going to finish up, a little nerdy, I'm sorry, but I'm going to finish up with a quote that I like from The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Okay, and I think it sums up most people's journeys and it resonates loudly with me. So, life is a storm, my young friends. You will bask in the sunlight one moment and then be shattered on the rocks the next. What makes you a man or woman is what you do when that storm comes. You must look into that storm and shout, "Do your worst, for I will do mine." So Bulldogs, go out and make us proud. Thank you for this distinction. I look forward to seeing the next generation of leaders and the wonderful things that you all will do. Thank you.
Ms. Catherine Nye will introduce Dr. Maria Antonieta Garcia, class of 2005.
Dr. Maria A. Garcia Caballero Tony was born in El Paso and raised in Laredo, and stands as a testament to the impact one can have when driven by a desire to serve their community. Dr. Garcia's journey in medicine began at John B. Alexander High School at the Health and Science Magnet program. She continued her studies at UT Pan American, followed by medical studies at Ross University School of Medicine in Dominica. She completed her family medicine residency in Corpus Christi, Texas. After 2 years as a hospitalist, she returned to Laredo, not just to practice medicine, but to ignite a legacy by contributing to the growth of local healthcare professionals at the Texas Institute of Graduate Medical Education and Research, Laredo Medical Center Family Medicine Residency Program. The motivation behind Dr. Garcia's career sprouted from a personal narrative, witnessing the struggles faced by family members who had to journey to other cities for medical care. This experience fueled a passion to ensure that the people of Laredo had access to comprehensive evidence-based healthcare, a mission that has since been realized through her unwavering commitment. Furthermore, guided by the support and inspiration of her family, Dr. Garcia has returned to Laredo to practice family medicine and obesity medicine and serves as the program director of the residency program, where she oversees the training of new doctors ready to serve independently with compassion and competence. But her favorite role is that of mom, with her two sons, Mateo, age 5, and Luca, age 3. As a physician at Gateway Community Health Center, her contributions extend beyond education, touching the lives of those battling illnesses with both professional support and heartfelt empathy. Dr. Garcia's message to the students of today resonates with the core values that have guided her own path. A quote by author Minor Myers: "Go into the world and do well. But most importantly, go into the world and do good." These words are not just a mantra, but a lived experience, reflecting a career built on the pillars of service and education. Please help me welcome Dr. Maria Antonieta Garcia.
Good morning, everyone. Administrators, students, faculty, staff, friends and family. Standing here today as an inductee to the Alexander High School League of Legends, I'm filled with gratitude. This honor didn't exist during my time here. Way back when, Mr. Aguilar was our senior class sponsor, class of 05. Mr. Sandoval was a softball coach back then, and Ms. Lopez was our counselor. Truth be told, I was far from what you'd call a legend. I was a decent student, hovering around the top 10% with grades that came easily enough. I played sports, but I never made the headlines, and I leaned into a false sense of confidence that having to put in effort or having to ask for help would have been a sign of weakness. That mentality followed me to college, where my previous academic ease met a challenge. Without ever having learned how to truly study, my scholarship to medical school and my dream of becoming a doctor had seemingly slipped through my fingers by the end of my second year. The following period was one of the hardest of my life. I had to deeply contemplate whether the medical path was truly for me. I had average grades and average MCAT scores, and Texas medical schools turned me away. It was only upon a friend's suggestion that I found myself at Ross University on a tiny Caribbean island, which seemed less like reality and more like a scene out of Jurassic Park. There wasn't even a Starbucks. There I grappled with loneliness, anxiety, and a relentless academic pace. I struggled, and I continued to have setbacks. And I often wondered if I was good enough. I was barely scraping by, and imposter syndrome weighed heavily on me. But I persisted. I found tutors, I learned to study, and I refused to give in. I graduated. I matched into my family medicine residency close to home in Corpus, and it was there that I found my stride. Hard work became my mantra, and the hours were long and stressful, but I took comfort and pride in knowing that I was helping people. And suddenly, opportunities I never imagined began to unfold before me in abundance. I had been working at a hospitalist in Corpus for a few years when I got a call from an old friend from this very high school offering me a job to work in a clinic in Laredo. Initially, I was resistant. I'd never wanted to work in a clinic, and I loved Corpus. However, she told me it was not solely for primary care. They were looking for faculty. Think part doctor, part teacher, for a new family medicine residency program. Their mission was aimed at addressing the dire healthcare disparities and lack of physicians in Laredo by training doctors here, and I knew I had to come back. This was the very reason that I became a doctor. Today I stand before you as the program director of that residency program. We're making strides in the community, training and graduating physicians from all over the country who are choosing to stay and live and serve here in our city and treating the patients who need them the most. This achievement is not mine alone, but a tapestry woven from the threads and support from this incredible school, my dedicated teachers, and my family and my kids sitting right there. Thank you all for believing in me, pushing me, and loving me. I couldn't have done it without you. Here's my TLDR of my speech. If you only walk away with a few lessons, think of these. Embrace hard work. It's the currency of success. Seek help when needed. It's a sign of strength and not weakness. Understand that failure is part of being a human. It's a step in the learning process. But giving up, that's not an option. Your journey will be unique, filled with challenges and triumphs. But remember, perseverance is the key to unlocking your potential and reaching your dreams, and eventually, hopefully, changing the world. Happy International Women's Day, go Bulldogs, and thank you.
Miss Eileen Muskies will introduce Armando Molina, class of 1997.
Armando Molina's family is integrated with Laredo in education. He has successfully served Laredo in different educational roles for more than 20 years. He is married to UISD board member and secretary Michelle Molina and the proud father of Amanda Ray, Zoe Sky, and Xander Fox Molina. Growing up in Rio Bravo, Texas, he was raised by his late father, Ricardo Molina, former UISD board member for 26 years, and his mother, Theodora Isabel Fox, with his siblings Nino, Ricky, and Melissa. He feels blessed to have the love and support of his family. After graduating from Alexander High School in 1997, he received an associate's degree in science from Laredo College in 1999, followed by a Bachelor of Arts degree from TAMU in 2002. He received a master's degree in science education in 2008 and is currently undertaking preparation hours towards the superintendent certificate program. He has worked in education for Laredo ISD for more than 20 years. He started as a speech teacher and coach at Cigaroa High School, where he coached football, basketball, track, powerlifting, and tennis. He moved into the role of administrator, first serving 7 years as an assistant principal at Cigaroa Middle School for 3 years and Cigaroa High School for 4. For the past 6 years, he has served in the capacity of school principal. He served at Francisco S. Lara Academy for 3 years and is currently the proud principal of Joaquin G. Cigaroa Middle School, leading the campus to be TEA recognized for accountability for the first time in 40 years. Last year, he was selected to serve as the Assistant Regional Coordinator to represent the TASSP educational organization. His message to students is to do the best they can with what they have. Be resilient, resourceful, and work hard to take every opportunity given to them to be successful. He believes that success comes to those who have a passion for what they do and is not based on how much they earn. How much do you make should be followed by a I make a difference. Go Bulldogs. Please help me welcome Mr. Armando Molina.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say, go Bulldogs! Let's go, let's get it going. Go Bulldogs! All right. It's a lot of pride in this school and a lot of pride on everybody that's here as a Distinguished League of Legends recipient. It is my honor and I'm humbled to be here in front of you all today. As they said, 1997, that's 28 years ago. Wow. We're one of the first classes here at Cigaroa Middle, I'm used to saying my school, at J.D. Alexander, in which a lot of us came to this campus as a hybrid campus. Some of us had spent our first year at United High School, And for me, I started my first 2 years at United South High School because I lived in Rio Bravo. Alexander brought a magnet school to UISD in which students from all over UISD could be part of this wonderful school in which we were bused every day here. So I had the pleasure to start and create myself here at this campus after spending 2 years with another campus with new sets of friends and do things differently. I like to say when I talk about my high school memories, I remember being a part of the National Honor Society, playing varsity football, which I played for United South, not for Alexander, basketball, tennis, and track, and being part of the senior class, and also helping with the dance team as the tech crew, where I was with the cheerleaders and the dancers back then. It was Sammy the House. It was good times here in the pep rallies. Also, I got to express myself in different ways here at Alexander, became part of the choir, part of the first all-region choir members, because it's the first years of the school, right? So it was good. Got to sing, got to act in the one-act play, and my fondest memories was to be part of the UIL academics. You know, a lot of it when I started was about football, basketball, track, and that was kind of my identity. And I went into UIL academics and I did one-act play, I did debate, and I did extemporaneous speaking, which led me to have that passion for communications, in which I later got my bachelor's in communications and became a speech teacher. So it laid the foundation to what I like and what I love to do. Also, you know, going from here, from Alexander High School, it's a very, very proud moment to be back here, wearing the school colors, being in the gym, repping the pride of the Bulldogs. I tried to put on my Letterman jacket, but it was a large, it didn't fit. Enjoy your age, your youth. Be comfortable in your skin. Sometimes you feel like, oh, you know, I'm too big because I'm right now. And then you realize later on, it's like, hey, large is good, you know, hey, I'll take that, you know. And so you guys need to be confident in what you have. I've served at, you know, as over 20 years for LISD. I've been a coach, a teacher, assistant principal, and I do have the pride to say that I went to a campus that was not a successful campus in which we were able to pull to recognize, which brings pride that, you know, somebody who comes from this campus can go into the South and serve the underprivileged and help make a difference in students' lives and bring that mantra of building champions, not only here, but wherever you go. So I know that's a big thing here, to build champions, right? And so you always have to keep that in sight, that you're a champion and you can do the best, but also bring others around with you up. One of my messages was to wake up to win. Every day, don't wait until tomorrow. Do your best now. But always, students, take this in mind, that life always gives you a second chance, and that chance is called tomorrow. So don't be afraid to take risks, to make mistakes, and do your best, because you always have that chance to make it right and to do better. And believe me, life is about ups and downs, and it's around surrounding yourself with people that are going to be there for you to help you be successful. Because no one is ever successful without somebody or someone there with them, helping them, guiding them, believing in them. And you have to also be that for other people. Know the difference between being busy and being productive. I want to make a quote from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. He says, "You don't have to be great or successful to be consistent, but you need to be consistent to be great or successful. Create a habit of being consistent in the things that matter the most to you." So what that says is that you have to make what's important, and you got to be consistent. Going to college, sticking to what you believe in, what is important to you, is what's going to help you be successful. But you have to be consistent, day in, day out. You have to trust the process. You have to plan to be successful. No excuses, no options, no outs. I will not give up. You will live your best life, students of Alexander High School. My message, again, was to be resourceful, resilient, and have passion for what you do. And again, they said it when they announced, I always say it's not about how much you make when it comes to money, It's about how much of a difference you can make in others. And that should be your legacy, to be remembered as somebody who helps and does for others to make everybody around them better. To the current Bulldogs, I leave you with the following advice. If there's someone there to believe with you, to care for you, and support you, amazing things will happen. And I'm blessed to have my family, my beautiful wife, Michelle Molina, that supports me, my kids and my family. You have your circle, your friends, your family. Dig into them. Do not take anything for granted. Life will go by fast, and the decisions you make now will impact you forever. And so make good choices, make good decisions, and remember, never give up. I always told my students every year when I was a speech teacher a little story called the alligator story. And I'm gonna go a little over, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So I would tell my students every year that I love to go fishing because I'm a fisherman. And every year I would go out there to Louisiana and I would get a little small boat, like a big fan. Back then when I was a teacher, there was what we call a waterboard, and they couldn't relate to that. You guys are a lot younger than that. Again, 28 years ago. So I would tell them that I would go fishing. And I tell them about this one time that I'm on the boat fishing, and it's super hot, and I'm out there throwing my reel, and an hour passes, and I don't catch anything. 3 hours pass, I don't catch anything. 5 hours, and my attitude gets to me. I'm like, I hate fishing. I can't believe I drove all this way. I can't believe I'm out here. I just want to go home. And then all of a sudden, my attitude just takes over me. But then the reel moves, and it starts going up and down, back and forth, and I'm like, oh my God, I caught fish. I get so excited. And I'm like, breathing it in, and show my muscle, like, yeah, this is Molina, the Bulldog, getting me right, and I'm putting it up. And when I reach out to get the fish, an alligator comes up and bites my arm off. And I freak out, I'm like, oh my God, no! And that's coming out everywhere, and I freak out, guys. And right then and there, I stop and say, what am I going to do? I jumped off that boat, and I swam, and I fought that alligator. I grabbed my one arm, I bit his ear, and they say, I think to my ears, like, listen to me, and he was like, I believe it got me. I get on my arm and start hitting the alligator. I get on the boat, I swim, and I get on the boat. It's really hard to get on the boat, guys, when you're off it. So I get back, and I get to shore, and they find me, and they take me to the hospital, and I get my arm sewed back on. And the doctor's like, Mr. Molina, you survived, you fought an alligator, you got your arm? And I said, yes. I never gave up, I had a positive attitude, and I did my best. I just sewed my arm backwards. But the moral of the story, the joke is, guys, what I tell the students, and what I tell you guys today, no matter that an alligator comes out and bites your arm off, you do not give up. There are going to be obstacles in your life moving forward. Alligators out there, deaths in the family, things that happen, you lose a job, a family member, a relationship, your class doesn't go your way, you have to drop it. You need to move somewhere. Do not give up. Jump in that water. Fight with all that you got. I believe there's going to be people there to help you. Never give up. Because attitude is everything. It's the way you think, the way you act, and the way you feel. All right? So if you choose to have a positive attitude and never give up, you all are going to be successful in your life. And because you know that you always tried your best and you fought all the alligators that come your way. So for all of you guys, I'd like to say thank you to all the administration, the teachers, and everybody for doing this wonderful presentation. It is an honor. I want to thank the band. I was part out there with the drum girls. I used to be in the band. Now I have friends and kids in the band. Robbie over there, you have Beto, Ross. I'm very proud to be there. So students, God bless you, and go! Love you guys. Thank you. Class of 97, let's go!
I think Sammy the House was, you made a mistake. It should have been you instead of Sammy the House, the DJ, man. Come on over.
Let's go.
I am a fisherman and I want that alligator to come out. Véngase, alligator, véngase. Isabela Ramirez will introduce Mr. Luis G. Rendon, class of 2006.
Luis Rendon was born and raised in Laredo, but has called New York City home for the past 7 years. After graduating from Alexander in 2006, he attended Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas, where he studied English and music. TWU is also where the seeds of Luis's journalism career were planted. As the editor-in-chief of the student newspaper, he learned about the importance of holding the powerful accountable, informing the public, and highlighting the work of everyday people, all through journalism. After graduating, he attended Syracuse University on a full scholarship to study journalism. His master's degree in hand, he began a nomadic era, moving across the country on a journey to be a well-rounded newspaperman. From designing pages in Milwaukee, reporting from the Air Force Academy in Colorado, art directing photo shoots in Victoria, and working the sports desk on championship nights in San Francisco, he has had his hand in every facet of journalism for over 10 years. After moving to New York City to work at the New York Post, in 2020, Luis had his first story, a story about Laredo and its booming local coffee scene, published in Texas Monthly magazine. The following year, Luis wrote his first magazine cover story for Texas Highways magazine, tracking the history of Tejano Christmas traditions. Since then, Luis has been published in both magazines and outlets in the Los Angeles Times multiple times, writing about borderland culture, food, and local businesses. Some highlights include a deep dive into history and future of Taco Palenque, how a drag queen from Bronxville snatched an Emmy, and an essay on why Shia Serrano's new TV show is peak Pacho TV. Even though he lives far away, Laredo and his memories of home are what inspire him and his writings. Today, Luis is the chair of the Daily Beast Guild Union, where he also currently works as a senior photo editor. He is also the vice president of Pioneer Alumni Association, the historic alumni organization that supports Texas Women's University. He'd like students to never doubt what they're capable of doing. If a kid from Mines Road can make it in New York and have his journalism seen by millions of people around the world, there are truly no limits to what you can do. Please help me welcome Mr. Luis Rendon.
Hi everyone. I don't have a printer, so I got my iPad. All right, here you go. Wow. Thank you so much for this honor. It's very weird to be here, graduating almost 20 years ago. It's also very weird to go after Alligator Story. I'm gonna try and, Yamedo, we're almost done, guys. I was literally doing yoga across the street a couple days ago, what felt like a room of dazzlers, and I'm trying to barely touch my toes. But it's really great to be back and see how everything has changed. Quick side note, one thing hasn't changed, United can still eat it, Poodle Bulldogs all day. There you go. Anyway, Louis in high school was a lot of things, but you can probably boil it down to one word. Como se dice, a nerd. I was the #1 band geek. I was drum major, I played in the mariachi, I was in the magnet, I did Hosa. I got kicked off of the one-act play team. I tried and failed miserably at speech and debate. I was a class officer. I was just, super popular, obviously. Listen, I wasn't cool, but who is? What does that even mean? I loved what I did, and I loved who I did it with, and that's all that really matters. My fellow honorees here today are so impressive. Literally, lawyers, doctors, and educators. They're saving lives, changing lives in meaningful ways. And meanwhile, I've been living in New York, writing stories about drag queens and beer and tacos. So same. I'm a journalist by trade, but I'm a storyteller at heart. So I figured I'd do that today. I'd tell you a quick story. In 2017, my tío Beto passed away pretty unexpectedly. I had just moved to New York City from San Francisco, and I hadn't been back to Laredo in a while. So it was a bizarre feeling when I showed up for the funeral, and I saw my extended family all grown up. My cousins, who I hadn't seen in years, had families of their own, some with kids I hadn't even met before. I have memories of playing Amor Eterno with the mariachi here, but I swear when I heard it at that funeral, it was like the first time I'd ever heard it. I cried hard. I cried for my tío, I cried for my dad, I cried for my family, but also for myself. It scared me. My family was growing up, getting old, and now one of them was gone. somehow I realized I couldn't even remember the last time I'd seen my tío before he died. I didn't know what I could do for my family or how to become a better Rendon in that moment. So I figured I'd do what I knew best, tell a story. And so that's what I did. The next Thanksgiving break, I came down to Laredo and began interviewing all of my tíos and tías and my cousins. I wanted to tell a story of us. I asked about our time growing up together in the house my grandpa built for everyone to live in. They told me about sharing beds, working at the bakery behind the house, and playing in the unpaved streets of Laredo. I ended up making a podcast of all those interviews with my tíos and tías called Casa Rendon, tracking our family history that we so rarely talk about. The episodes are shaggy and rough around the edges. It's like not the daily or anything, but on Christmas Eve of 2019, I hit send from my apartment in Brooklyn while my entire family sat around in the backyard to listen. To this day, they tell me how special it was. And I think that's what I'm most proud of in my life, being able to do that for them. At the time when I was doing the interviews, I had immense guilt about being so absent when my family was growing and changing, about living so far away. Had I been selfish going away to school? Had I been selfish in prioritizing my career and chasing success that took me so far away from Laredo and my family? I asked my tía Laura about it, and what she told me sticks with me to this day. Your success is our success. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. My success is your success, and your success is mine. We may be different, but we are also the same. We are all Laredoans, we are all Bulldogs, and we are all survivors of all the good and bad things that come with being both. I grew up on Mines Road with no special privilege in my life beyond two parents that worked really hard to provide for me. My success is theirs. My success is the success of this school and all the teachers. I've even cried like my mom, it's disgusting. My success is the success of this school and all the teachers who in whatever way fueled me to push myself past these city limits and to live a life I didn't even know I could dream of. I actually come back to Laredo quite often to write stories for magazines and news outlets all over the country. It's my way of staying connected. People don't associate Laredo with success, but it's everywhere. We just need to do a better job of telling our stories. And so that's become my calling in my life, telling our stories. Our stories of struggle, but most importantly, our stories of success. So here's to your success. Thank you.
That was rough. You did it, buddy. This brings our program to an end. But before I go there, let me recap some of the things I've heard here today for you students as to what happened on their journey that has helped them become successful. One, that obstacles, we're going to overcome obstacles. You're going to have them, but you're going to have to overcome them. Everybody has them. All right? We use the model here. Our model is building champions, and somebody mentioned that earlier. We build champions. We take your talent that you're already bringing to the table. We hone it and sharpen it, we make it a little better, and then we turn it loose on our community and other communities so that you can shine. That's your talent. You come immensely talented already. Don't forget that. And don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. That's very important because you can do anything you want. All you have to do, I heard somebody say it, if you can see it in your eyes, if you can dream it, you can be it. All right? Finally, be boundless. I tell you this all the time, Bulldogs, be boundless. Don't let anything stop you from what you want to be. Our fight song says it, where others fear to go. That's not us. Where others fear to go, we're going. That's where we're going. That's where you're going. Where others fear to go, that's where we're going to go. Because that's what we've trained you for, that's what our community produces, and that's what we do. Understood? Yes. I hear here. You understood? Yeah. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Mighty Bulldog Band. And let's hear that fight song one last time for these guys right here. Thank everybody for coming. Hold on, we held the bells. Hold on.